All right, my name is James Heller, and I'm the CEO of Wrapify. We pay everyday consumer drivers to advertise on their vehicle. Let me show you how it works. I want you to meet Curtis. He's part of our core demographic of Wrapify drivers. He's 32 years old, makes about 40 grand a year, and making an extra $400 a month to help pay off his student loans, his car payment, and his insurance is an absolute godsend. Well, Curtis recently signed up to become a Wrapify driver. He's logging into the Wrapify app for the first time, and here he's going to get served campaign offers for campaigns in his area. Looks like he's got a handful of options. He's going to go ahead and select the Captivate campaign because that looks interesting. He sees that there's a 50-mile daily mile cap. He drives about 30 miles a day. That looks great. So he's going to go ahead and click Continue. He's going to select the amount of wrap coverage on his vehicle. Now, he's all in. He wants to make the most on the road, so he's going to go ahead and select Full. And he's going to confirm the details of the campaign and click Join. And once he does that, we're going to schedule his wrap appointment. And Curtis is going to go from making zero on the road to over $400 a month. And today, we have about 22,000 drivers just like Curtis on our platform. Now, the US ad industry is a $182 billion a year business, 7% of which comes from out of home, 24% comes from online, and we see our total addressable market being roughly 31% because of the online availability of our ad platform and the physicality of our wrapped vehicles on the road. Now, how does Wrapify stack up to traditional out of home? Well, here in the city, Zenefits has a billboard right on the side of the 101. If you were driving in from the airport, you probably saw it. They spend about 30 grand a month for that single billboard. It's really easy to ignore. That same $30,000 can put 25 cars on the road, canvassing the city, creating upwards of 20 times the impressions per dollar spent. Now, we've talked about the drivers, and we've talked about the industry. Now let's talk about what the advertisers see when they log into the platform. Here's an example of one of our advertisers, Cold Cock Whiskey. They have a campaign here in San Francisco, 6 cars on the road, 624 miles logged for this given time period, and they're also able to see live impressions. They're also able to see a nice map overlay of where those drivers have been driving on a typical daily basis. But we don't stop there. We also allow them to put their ads where they want them, when they want them, with the feature we call Swarm. Let me show you how that works. Now, Cold Cock Whiskey's pushed out a Swarm offer to its campaign drivers to park in front of a bar on Saturday, April 18th, and in doing so, those drivers are going to make an extra $100. Now, it looks like 4 out of the 6 drivers opted into that Swarm offer. Cold Cock Whiskey can see where those drivers parked, how long they parked, how many impressions for that given Swarm offer, as well as the cost of that Swarm offer. Now, today, there's no other ad platform that allows you to be this omnipresent on demand. We made a lot of traction since we launched the platform in July. Triple-digit growth month over month. We are nearing a $2.5 million revenue run rate, and we have an $8.6 million pipeline for 2016 so far. We've made the platform even more affordable with our newest platform update for startups and founders alike. Many of the people here, we're trying to do what we can to help support the startup community. It's the cost of entry to create a campaign as a startup founder is lower than it's ever been before. We are Wrapify, and we're changing the world of outdoor advertising. Thank you.
So, looks like you guys have made great progress, so congratulations on that. Question for you, what's measuring the analytics in the car? You guys have some sort of plug-in function or something that's sort of saying this is how long the car was parked there, or is that all self-reporting?
That's a great question. So we actually have a piece of technology that links up with our smartphone app and verifies that the driver's in their car. We take the telemetry information from our driver's smartphone and we pair it with third-party data, and that's how we create live impressions data. Today we're one of the only out-of-home platforms that provides live impressions data that can be accessed online.
How do you deal with liability issues? So I sign up on the platform, wrap my car, and then I go out driving and I get into an accident. So how do you protect the advertisers from a legal standpoint from that?
Great question. So we actually, it depends state by state. Today we're live in 15 markets. We'll be live in 18 markets by the end of the month. We actually provide a layer of commercial insurance that sits on top of the driver's personal coverage. And today, a driver needs to be 21 or older. They have to pass all of our criminal and vehicle history background checks and have a 2008 or newer vehicle.
Congrats again on the progress. How do you find these drivers?
Awesome question. So most of our drivers are coming in organically from a lot of the PR that we've been getting as of recent, but most of our paid driver acquisition is nearing $1 per driver, leveraging paid social, paid mobile on Facebook, paid Instagram advertising.
Thank you.
Do you have a minimum number of hours that a driver must be on the road?
Absolutely not. Our drivers are paid on a per mile basis. We have a pricing algorithm that prices the mile as they travel down the road. So for instance, broad daylight, rush hour traffic heading into the city is going to be a much more valuable mile to an advertiser than say them driving out in the middle of nowhere at 3 in the morning. So our drivers are incentivized to drive in higher impact areas and higher impact zones. We also do what we can to incentivize drivers to do other activities.
So how do you wrap the car? What's the kind of process for putting the ad on the car, and how long does that take, and what are your minimum qualifications for the cars themselves?
So the minimum qualification for our cars is it just needs to be 2008 or newer, and it needs to be in good physical shape.
But you can wrap any car, like a van or a four-door, two-door, anything?
Any car, as long as it's 2008 or newer. The process is pretty simple, and it depends on the level of wrap coverage, but say for a full vehicle wrap, the driver is going to get scheduled to go to one of our certified network installers. They're going to drop off their car in the morning. We provide them with credits towards their ride-sharing partner of choice, Uber, Lyft, Sidecar, et cetera. They pick up their car at the end of the day, typically at the end of work. The moment they start rolling, they start earning.
And is there any problem with Uber or Lyft if you wrap a car that's being used as an Uber? I don't know if there's like a conflict between the two.
So we actually don't allow ride-sharing drivers onto the platform yet, and there's a couple reasons for why. One of them is we have plenty of drivers signed up nationwide, like I said before, about 22,000, and that number's growing on a daily basis. That, and also we're actually in the midst of working on a program to make that a little bit more of a seamless process. So it hasn't been a core focus for us today, but it's definitely something we're looking at here in the future.
Okay, awesome. Let's hear it for James and Wrapify. Well done.